You're watching Sports 3 on the network service of NTA, Africa's largest TV network. Up next is our conversation segment, but before then, let's go on this break. We'll be right back.
NTA Sports 24, where sports thrive.
This is the Sports 3 on the network service of NTA, Africa's largest television network. Warm welcome to our conversation segment. And I have with me to discuss the ongoing National Sports Festival and some other sports-related issues. Friday, Aniekan is a grassroots coach, both in the classroom and on the field of play. Coach, you are welcome to Sports 3.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here this morning.
All right, straight to the business. The main sport that is getting attention now is the National Sports Festival going on in Ogun State right there. So what is the feelers you are getting from Ogun State?
So far, so good. I think if you look at the Gateway Games 2025, holding at Mushuda Biola Stadium in Abeokuta, it's one of the sports I mostly look forward to from my childhood, because this is where grassroots athletes and sportsmen and women are groomed.
Have been discovered and groomed.
They're also being discovered. And today we have some of them who are taking the international scene by storm. It's a beautiful thing to witness this beautiful event taking place again in Ogun State at this point in time in Nigeria.
Is the games in Ogun State living up to expectations of why it is being created?
I will say yes, because watching the opening ceremony, it was colorful, just as you said. We have what we call the generals, gracing this occasion, the timber and calibers of
sports circle.
Sport enthusiasts. You imagine having the former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, gracing, and then we have the Nobel laureate, also the professor, and then we have the former governors and the rest of them. It's been a wonderful time.
Okay, so presently on the medal table, which of the states is actually having the upper hand?
We are witnessing Bayelsa State taking the lead, and this is unprecedented, I must say, because we have the last winner being Delta. But let's just say this is just the beginning.
Yes, the game is just starting.
The game is just starting, and anything can happen along the way. But presently, we have Bayelsa on top of the table.
So, which of the teams do you think is going to carry the day at the end of the day?
Well, I'll have to be frank with you. We'll still give it to Delta for now, because they are always good in springing surprises, especially when the game began to get to its crescendo.
Okay.
Delta will come through.
All right, so what will be your action or reaction now? We are talking about the main essence of the games, which is to discover and nurture talents.
I was a little bit taken aback when I discovered that 6 athletes had been disqualified, coming from 3 or 4 states thereabout, on the issue of doping. It's sad that a game and a sport that was muted for the sake of discovering and nurturing talents has now become a kind of a dangerous competition, winning at all costs.
You deal with students,
Definitely.
both in the classroom and even off the classroom. But what do you have to say about the situation in our own case? Your advice to stakeholders generally, especially some students in private schools. The facilities are not there. And the National Sports Festival are meant for students.
Definitely.
Probably from primary 6
up.
Probably to SS3. 18 years, 17 years, 15 years old.
It's like we said, we've just talked about the issue of doping. With what I saw, I think I just saw a team with only a child of about 13, 14 years, and the rest are adults. And this is a game that was supposed to be for the grassroots development. going from the primary 6 to JS and then SS. I think the country has to sit back, the sports administrators, and then rework on this very issue of getting our young talents from the right place. Especially, you just rightly mentioned the private schools. Most of the private schools, sorry to say, do not have sporting facilities. And you began to wonder, how will they be able to tutor the children on games and other sporting activities? These are very necessary. Education is a complete system. And
alongside sports.
So you cannot only take the children in the classroom. Like I'm someone that I love. After the theory, we try to practicalize what we do with my students.
In your own view, what do you think we can do as a country to actually checkmate age cheats?
Age cheat.
Especially for National Sports Festival. These students, they have schools.
Exactly.
Pick them from the schools.
Once
you are not attached to a school,
there's no need picking you. If you go back to the schools, I think it's in the schools you're going to get the right age of the children, especially from the primary school. But the moment they are done with the primary and secondary, some things may begin to change. And so if the sport administrators will have to go back, they have to go back to the schools and then start taking up the children from the primary school, those of them with exceptional talents, nurture them. And then from there you get the real and the correct data that you need. That will involve their age. So you will now know that if you pick them up when they were 7, 8, 9, or 10, then you begin to nurture them. So by the time they get, we see this happening in other countries, the Western world, England, where you have academies. And so when you see a child and they say the child is so age, that's the child's age because the child started at the early stage from the academy. And so Nigeria can still do this, and then it will help to prevent age cheat. Even growing up, that child being in the spotlight will not want to cheat, knowing very well that people knows his or her true age and knows her background.
All right, so your parting words as regards the National Sports Festival.
I want to wish the athletes and the participants and the administrators, the organizers, a wonderful time out at the Gateway Games 2025. Want to see a healthy competition. Want to see what brings unity in diversity. Yes, they may be coming from different states, a different background, but coming together, just like the NYSC.
Yes,
it should be able
unity,
to ignite unity and oneness, and then going forward, we should be able to discover new talents from this very game. I'll be glad to see names come out from this, and then they go on in years to come to become world beaters.
Yes.
I'll be proud.
At least we can see from football, we can see the likes of Mikel Obi,
exactly,
Kanu Wanko, when they made it
they started from
the African
Deji Okocha. They all started from under the bridge. They were picked up from there.
Our dear Victor Osimhen,
at
we all started on the streets. All right, thank you very much for coming on Sportsry, but I wouldn't let you go without talking about your team, the Gunners for life.
Wow!
So what is happening to the Gunners?
The Gunners are. We're going to the next level.
And what is the next level?
The next level is what we've just seen this yes, especially in Champions League. Okay. And then there's a record Arsenal has been able to keep till date, and that is you cannot score Arsenal more than two in a particular match. I think that record still stands, and is going to spur Arsenal up with what I've seen so far on the transfer window. Next year, to beat Arsenal will be a tall order.
All right, so what about the EPL? Are you still
EPL, we by God's grace, Arsenal is ending second.
Okay,
it's
second.
very clear.
It's very clear.
We're going for the Champions League by God's grace next year. This year, it eluded us, but next year, I'm seeing Arsenal another step forward to pick up the title.
Gunners for life.
Thank you, sir.
And that has been Friday Aniekan on Sports 3 talking about the National Sport Festival, the essence of creating the games, and of course, is our loving team, Arsenal. Said they are coming in full force to ensure that next season Champions League is not going to elude them. Sports Free will return after this time out. Please stay tuned.